Hello and happy Witcher Day. Well, okay, not quite that. Happy Witcher Review Embargo Day. It's really not the same. Our full review is still in progress. It's going to be with you prior to the game's release next week. But yeah, it turns out this is a pretty big video game. Who would have known it, right? We do have some early impressions up on the site, and I can use this opportunity to show off a little bit of early gameplay. This is all from around the beginning of the game. Ooh, doesn't it look pretty? Yes! Yes, it really does. This is from the PlayStation 4 version, FYI. So, looking at these first thoughts from Matt Wales, let's tackle the big question first. Does The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt get the open world stuff right? From the few hours I've spent with the game at a preview, that's the question I think I most want answered. The combat, the characters, the tone of the storyline itself, all seem in keeping with what I expect from a game in this series, but the big change is this new emphasis on a much larger open world to explore. However, is it worth exploring? I think that's a pretty valid concern. Well, according to our man Matt Wales over here, The Witcher 3 gets it right, reshaping and repurposing the series' war-ravaged fantasy land of Temeria into a seamless world that manages to feel complete, cohesive, and most importantly, a place where real life has unfolded and continues to do so. Well, that's pretty much exactly what I wanted to hear. After investing so much time into games like Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm pretty eager for a game world that doesn't just feel full, but feels full of meaningful stuff. Side quests and characters that have a story to tell, not just experience and loot to hand over. Okay, back to Matt. What it comes down to, I think, is that, like Red Dead, Wild Hunt offers an open world with a real sense of place. This is a game packed full of life and character that manages to remain focused and cohesive despite its imposing scale. Wait a second, hang on, let's just slow this down for one moment. I think he just made a comparison to the world of Red Dead Redemption. Alright, I'm listening. Temeria might be a grab bag of fantasy cliches. As the titular, roguish Witcher Geralt, you'll pass through misty swamps, ominous woods, sleepy hamlets, and enormous cities on your travels, but everything feels like it's been placed with purpose and care. Alright then, I'm sold on the world of The Witcher 3. Yeah, you've done it. So let's move on to some of the other stuff. How about that combat then? From my limited time with the game, it felt extremely close to that of The Witcher 2, albeit with a crossbow thrown in for good measure. And you know what, here's a potentially unpopular opinion. The swordplay, the magic, it never really clicked for me throughout my playthrough of The Witcher 2. It wasn't dreadful, but it didn't feel quite as comfortable as I'd hoped. Now I'm willing to accept that not everyone is going to agree with me on that. For some people, those systems feel just right, and they'll likely enjoy them in Wild Hunt, but it's worth knowing that they don't appear to have changed dramatically this time around. Matt refers to the combat as a crunchy mix of two-button sword swinging and magic attacks, knockabout fun, and sometimes relatively strategic. While this is enough to see you through the game's surprisingly infrequent enemy encounters, it lacks the depth that other RPGs offer. Not the end of the world, certainly, but maybe a bit disappointing for those hoping for another kind of major combat overhaul that we saw from The Witcher to The Witcher 2. How about the stories that are on offer? What does he make of them? And I'm not talking just about the main body of the main questline. That's not really how open world games tend to work. I want to know about the side characters, the stuff you're just going to stumble upon by chance. Is that worthwhile? He says almost every story can be gently nudged in a new direction too, and it's endlessly fascinating to see the ramifications of your words and actions ripple out across the land. What's especially interesting is the subtlety at play. The choices you make aren't often the heavy-handed, telegraphed conundrums of, say, Fable. Sometimes a simple turn of phrase in a conversation tree can unwittingly send the dominoes falling. Now that totally lines up with my experience in the very first village you encounter in The Witcher 3. I won't dip into spoilers here, but I can absolutely confirm that final sentiment. One tiny, seemingly insignificant side quest that I'd been playing through ended really badly because of a decision I didn't quite realise I was making. I was just trying to be the good guy, you know, the good adventurer. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. But the story that questline told felt all the more important because of it. Alright then, the open world sounds incredible, the combat is relatively unchanged, and the storylines, particularly in some of the side quests, have moments of real importance. Sounds good. That's a brief roundup of Eurogamer's first impressions regarding The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and you can certainly expect more to come over the coming days. I think it's fair to say that most people that work for this site are pretty excited about this one. We're going to want to talk about it, so feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like to be part of that conversation and just, yeah, see some more of The Witcher 3, no doubt. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this final paragraph from Matt's article. Ambiguity and the messiness of human life. Games have already proven that they can build and populate open worlds, even worlds as majestic and romantic and wild as this one. But this stuff is a reminder that The Witcher 3 is trying to do something different. It's trying to make an open world feel convincingly inhabited, to give it the warp and weft of narrative history. Even its more fantastical elements are coloured with folklore and feel half real. That's a pretty interesting quest, and CD Projekt is a pretty interesting adventurer, beating a path into strange and bewitching new places. This Polish studio's first open world is one of the greatest we've ever seen. Oh boy! Okay, no, that last bit was me, that wasn't from Matt's article. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully this will keep you sated until next week, which, you know, it probably won't. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching, bye!